Hello everyone and welcome to Season 8, Episode 5 of I See Bad Movies. I am joined this evening by the spawn of hell herself, Emma Spicer.
That was just mean, wasn't it?
But you know I'm always trying to be on topic with the movie.
Yeah, that's not an excuse. Is this because I was mean to you earlier?
It is.
Or
You were really mean to me.
On your birthday?
You were mean to me yesterday and today.
True.
That
was a birthday treat.
oh, how did I not know? How could I not tell? Oh God, it was my birthday, wasn't it? 45.
Scary age.
And I don't feel like a brim for the Vasha at all.
Don't you?
No, not at all.
That's a shame.
I know. I don't even know what that song.
To get there and then not feel like a brim for the Vasha.
No, and it's always on the 45 as well, apparently. But nothing at all. Yeah, you were quite mean.
But do you need a bosom for a pillow?
Yeah. My own bosom.
That's going to be awkward to try and use it as a pillow, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just hit my neck. We are also joined as well by currently a silent partner who's going to do a very special task for us tonight, aren't they? Yeah, and they're sitting there very angelic. It's not Milo.
No.
Milo has suddenly not learned how to actually help on the podcast, but we do have another very special helper that we'll introduce in a moment. I don't know where I was going with very. In a very short moment. In a soon moment. In a very soon moment. Emma, would you like to tell our wonderful listeners what we're watching tonight?
Yes, we are watching Spawn.
We are. I kind of almost gave that away in my introduction to you.
Also, if they're on this episode, it'll be the title of the episode, so they do already know what we've watched, don't they? I always think this every week. We reveal the movie, but the title of the podcast is going to be the movie. So.
Look, fine, okay, just destroy the magic. Maybe they've been binging episodes and it's just gone on to the next one. Yeah, it's just moved on to the. I doubt it though.
No.
Are we binge worthy? I think so.
Yeah, of course we are.
Yeah, of course we are. Binges, please. So yeah, we're watching Spawn, and obviously it is in our. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a terrible superhero movie.
Yes.
Kind of season that we were looking at. Would you like me to read out the synopsis?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, an assassin named Al Simmons is double-crossed and murdered by his evil boss.
Al Simmons, that's not an assassin's name.
It's not, is it?
No.
That's a guy you meet down the calf,
Troy,
isn't it?
Troy somebody.
Hey, Al. Troy is an assassin. That's an interesting choice.
It's like a manly name. I don't know if Troy's a manly name, but just something ridiculous.
There's a lot of Als around the world that are just like, oh, yeah. I'm not an assassin.
Depends what the owl. If the owl is like Alex, that's okay. But if it's Alan, what's it short for?
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. But I'd also think that if your name is like Alex, do many people call Alex shorten their name to Al? I don't know if they do.
No, probably not, because it's already shortened from Alexander, isn't it?
Yeah.
So. And
they'll go the other way. Like, what's his feather off of Pointless? He'll call himself Xander instead of Alexander.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
It's like, yeah, I know. Posho. What a posho. He's murdered by his evil boss, Jason Wynn. Okay, that's his name.
What are these names?
I know. Comic book character names. That's just...
Yeah, they actually, yeah.
The one thing is...
Superheroes do have really boring names, don't they?
They do. But at least they're not alliterative, so we don't have like a Peter Parker.
Yeah. And
I'm really struggling to think of an alliterative superhero name as well now. Anyway.
No, there is only Peter Parker.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, because like Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent,
Tony Stark.
Yeah. Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another alliterative one.
Yeah.
There you go. So anyway, Al makes a deal with the devil and returns to Earth as Spawn to see his wife. He is ordered by the devil's minion, the clown, to kill Wynn. Now, Wynn has made a deal with the clown too, and is supposed to destroy the world with a deadly virus that will help start Armageddon and allow hell to attack heaven. Spawn must choose between good and evil. That's our film.
Amazing.
It sounds terrible.
It sounds dreadful, yeah.
It does sound really dreadful.
Do it.
Let's do it. Let's go. Anyway, shall I flip the coin now and find out if we're going to be... Oh, hello, Milo. He is making an appearance. I don't know if you can pick him up. Hopefully, though, you'll pick up my coin flip. Right. Actually, Emma,
Yep.
I know you normally say if it's good, are we looking at the good or are we looking at the bad?
Yeah.
But shall I hand it over to our special guest?
Yes.
All right, special guest, who is Lois. Hello, Lois, you little demon.
Hello.
Would you like to guess if we've got the coin on good or bad for this film?
Bad.
On bad? Oh, unfortunately not. It's on the good. Never mind. Never mind. It does mean that we're going to be talking about the bad stuff on the flip side. Okay. All right. So, Lois, now is our turn for us to pick out our categories. So, I'll bring them over to you so you're by the mic. Oh, we got two at a time. Go ahead.
Music and props.
All right.
Death.
Okay.
Accent.
All right. And the last one?
Tune.
Was that the last one? Is that 5?
Yeah.
All right, Lois. So, could you, into the mic, tell us once more what cards we've got?
We have props, death, costume, accent, and music.
All right, then. So, we've got our 5 categories. We've got Spawn to go and watch. We've got one of your Spawn to get to bed. the shocked face. The shocked face. Yeah, I'm mean to your mum. I'll be mean to you. What are you going to do about it? Oh, I just got punched. So
It was an air punch, though.
it was an air punch.
We're safe.
But I'm very sensitive. Right, Emma, are you ready to go and watch Spawn?
Let's do it.
Oh, welcome back, Emma.
Hello.
We have just watched Spawn, haven't we?
Just watched it. Yes.
Just watched it, indeed, yes.
Should we
I
come
mean,
clean?
I mean, no one will believe us if we said we watched Spawn before Christmas. What was
So-
it? The
Was it like the week before?
19th, 18th or 19th of December? Was it the day after my birthday we watched Spawn?
Was it?
Because my birthday was the Tuesday.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes. So we watched it on the Wednesday, the
Yeah.
18th of December. And
then when we were gonna
it's
record
now
the
the
next-
19th of December, isn't it, Emma? We're recording the episode.
Yes, because we were going to record the next night,
Yes.
and then I wasn't feeling great from the
No, you
Tuesday, but
weren't.
then come the Thursday, I was like, no, I really am not
Yeah,
okay.
you were not well on the Tuesday.
And then I was not well the entire Christmas break that I had
Yeah.
from work that I was really looking forward to.
Oh.
And I was to spend the whole time unwell.
It's so upsetting.
It's
It
so
really is.
annoying. So I was so looking forward to a break from work, and
Yeah.
it was just downhill from that Thursday.
And it definitely is not Wednesday the 8th of January,
Yeah.
is it?
No, of
No.
course not. No.
No.
So I
Don't
can't
be
actually
silly.
remember the movie now, can you?
No. I went online on you because I was like, I'm just going to watch the film again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to watch it again. But I've
For
had
you.
zero time to watch it again.
Yeah.
My life has been stupidly busy recently.
I could have watched it over the Christmas break because I was just sitting on the sofa a lot of the time, but I couldn't make myself feel worse by watching this movie again. I was like, I'm already suffering enough.
We're not reviewing the film yet. We're just confessing at the moment. But what I ended up doing was I ended up watching Cinema Sins on YouTube for Spawn.
Okay.
They've got an episode about it,
Yeah.
which was interesting. It jogged my memory of a few bits.
Yeah.
And I also watched like a YouTube documentary, well, a vlog
Oh, okay.
about Spawn that talked about how it could have been a much better film than it was.
Yes.
Because did you know,
Couldn't they all?
right, the film went from a much sort of darker movie. There's a director's cut as well,
Oh, okay.
which is a lot gorier, messier.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't watch the
No, we
the
didn't watch-
director's cut.
No.
The director's cut is also over 2 hours long.
Right.
So we
okay.
were definitely not going to watch that either. Because, I mean,
No.
I'm somewhere in my 40s. There's no way I'm staying up that late to watch that long a film.
Yeah, we do struggle, don't we? Because we don't start till late. So
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not just gone 10 o'clock and
No.
we started recording and
No.
I've been here for an hour and a half chatting away.
But then we haven't seen each other for 2 or 3 weeks, and a lot's happened.
And to be fair, we trimmed down the amount that's happened. We've only spoken for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's not normal. We normally chatter for a lot longer when we
Yeah.
do that. Maybe a lot's happened, but it should not be that interesting.
Maybe, yeah.
No, it's all been really interesting, hasn't it? Watch this space, you know. I mean, that means nothing to any of you. It's not going to affect the podcast in any way.
No, it's got nothing to do with the podcast.
Yeah, but
None of it.
but I just wanted to be, I don't know, mysterious.
Okay.
But yeah,
Special man of
Spawn was going to be a much different film.
Okay.
And then, surprise, surprise, the studio got involved
yeah.
and demanded things and made changes,
Yeah.
etc., etc. So the director's cut is still 2 hours long and is supposedly better than what is the kind of theatrical release.
Yeah.
But even before that, the film was going to be really different. So the finished movie ended up with over 400 special effects shots,
Okay.
and not very good ones, I might add.
Yeah.
There's some really poor shit going on,
Yeah.
even for the 90s.
Yeah.
But the original version only had like something like 70 odd special effects shots.
Okay.
There was a lot more practical effects, and there was a lot more story to it.
Yeah.
But studio came in, started doing all sorts of things, and we ended up with a Spawn that we ended up with, which wasn't great.
No.
And then I found out they're making a new movie of Spawn.
No, they're not.
They are.
Oh,
In
why?
2026.
Why?
Instead of Michael Jai White playing Al Simmons, the Spawn
Yeah.
character, it's going to be... Oh, what's his name?
I don't know.
Jamie Foxx is going to be playing Spawn instead, apparently.
Okay.
But,
Why are they remaking it?
well, Spawn, I didn't realise, but Spawn is I knew it was a comic book, but I didn't
Yeah.
realise that it's like one of the most popular comic books of all time, Spawn.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think they'd make a decent movie then out of it, wouldn't you?
Well, that's the thing, though. You say that, but the 90s was full of terrible comic book movies.
Yeah, true.
You know, from good comic books like Daredevil. Daredevil had a great run of... I don't know if it was the right time, but Daredevil had a great run of comics written by Frank Miller, the guy that did Sin City and all that.
Okay.
So he had a great run of comic books, but the movie was dreadful.
Yeah.
You know, I've never really read any Catwoman comic books, but I can't imagine they had anything to do with the Catwoman movie that we ended up seeing.
No.
So, yeah, comic book movies, they get a really shit ride in the 90s.
Well, they were just disappointing, weren't they?
Yeah.
In the 90s?
The only good comic book movie that I can remember for the 90s was The Crow. I loved that film. It doesn't really stand up to the test of time, but I loved it. It was so good. Eric Draven, The Crow. Oh, man. It can't rain every day. It can't rain... Well, I got the quote wrong, but...
But we know what you mean.
But you know what I mean. Yeah. It can't rain all the time. That's it. So, yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Spawn kind of sucked. We are supposed to be going to be talking about the good bits, but I feel like
Might
we
be
should...
the shortest episode ever.
Yeah, no, I know. I feel like we should still kind of go through the synopsis and explain
Yes.
what's going on in the film, so that when we go over the good bits, we kind of maybe jog our memory as to what we were actually seeing.
Yeah.
So, like... I imagine Spawn's a film that everyone's seen, and...
Do you think?
Yeah,
haven't
I
seen
think
it
if you're
before.
into bad movies, you'll have seen Spawn.
Yeah.
I'd seen it before.
I hadn't.
And I'm every man, you know. It's like, if I've seen it, everyone's seen it. Anyway.
See, I feel like I didn't really watch bad movies before we started watching them. But
Okay.
the couple that I did watch off my own back before I even knew you were great. So Rubber, Poltergeist, I'd watched those before.
So you're saying it's my fault?
No, what I'm saying
I mean,
is,
that's all I took from that.
what I'm saying is I wasn't ever a watcher of bad movies, but the ones I did happen to watch by pure just chance were some of the best
classics,
ones.
some of the best.
Snakes on
yeah.
a Plane.
Yeah. Poltergeist you saw before.
Poltergeist was,
Yeah.
I'd forgotten how good that was actually. When we rewatched it, I was like, this is amazing. I'm glad I recommended this one.
Yeah, I really was. Yeah.
Because it was really funny.
I think Poltergeist so far has been the absolute highlight of this season for me. I've
Yeah.
enjoyed a lot of the films we've watched, but Poltergeist
Yeah.
was
It was great.
100% up there. Did I
Yeah.
give Poltergeist 6 stars?
I think we both gave it a high score, didn't we?
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah.
I know I certainly gave a movie this season 6 stars.
Must have been Poltergeist.
It
surely.
must have been Poltergeist. What else did we recorded this season?
I can't even.
I've already
it's just
forgotten.
like a blur
It
because
has-
it's been a long gap.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the mad thing, isn't it? We hit recording hard pre-Christmas.
We did
didn't
get
we?
a lot in before Christmas.
We
yeah.
really did.
Luckily, because then
And,
I was
I mean,
out of
we've-
action for a couple of weeks.
And the thing is, we've caught up now. I've released everything.
Oh, okay.
So because we were like, it was a weird thing because Christmas landed on a Tuesday and all that, and that's like episode
Yeah.
release times. We ended up releasing right up to Christmas. Like the last episode that we released was a Patreon episode on Christmas, and that was the last recording we had. So we got up to that time.
Oh,
Will we
really?
start? I mean, this is what, the 8th of January now. I'll probably release Spawn next week, so we've had a nice gap.
Yeah.
A nice gap from stuff for us recording, but actual recordings from us, it'll only be 2 weeks really
Yeah.
that has been the gap. But we were weeks in a row recording because we had the Christmas special to record as well. So yeah, we really hit it hard, and I think probably you were so unwell because
Overworked and
I
underpaid.
overworked you. Yeah. Get back to it. Anyway, now I've resorted to doing whip noises.
I know.
What's going on? Right, this isn't us talking about Spawn. I'm kind of avoiding it because Spawn was...
Yeah. I don't know how many good bits we can get out of it, but we'll try our best.
We will try. Oh, God, I haven't even found my notes. My notes will be miles... Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay. I'll find them in a second. So we've got Al Simmons, played by Michael Jai White, right? He is described as a Force Reconnaissance Marine Colonel and Black Ops operative.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a Black Ops operative. Fair enough. That I feel like one of those words is unneeded. He's Black Ops. You can just say that.
Yeah, that's like a company I used to work for, and they were, I won't say the name of them because they might still be around, but they were like, it was 3 initials,
Okay.
advertising, but the A on the like 3 initials stood for advertising. So it was like advertising. And I always just think, it's so wrong. It should just be advertising, not advertising.
Did you ever get a PIN number out of them?
It's like, why have you put... So the A stands for advertising, so that shouldn't be in the initials.
Maybe it's just because they're really serious about advertising. They said it twice.
Yeah, it just always
Yeah.
bugged me because I was like, it looks ridiculous on your stationery and everything because it's like the A stands for advertising.
Did they get a lot of work? I mean,
Yeah, they were busy, but I was
Wow.
like, it's such a stupid name, and it just used to wind me up.
it doesn't.
Whole time I worked there.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
that
doesn't make any sense.
That is amazing.
So it's like me calling, say my company was Emma Spicer Advertising,
Yeah.
it would be ESA Advertising. So Emma Spicer Advertising. It's just like, no. The A stands for the advertising.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. What's going on?
I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, some people just come up with stupid names, don't they, for things? And you just think, no.
And it didn't even look good on the stationery, so they haven't even done
Well,
it
it
for
just-
aesthetic purposes.
Probably to everyone else, if they didn't know what those letters stood for, it probably looked fine. But I
Yeah.
knew that the A was advertising, and then they wrote the word advertising out as well. And it's like, the A is for the advertising. You don't put the initial and the word.
It's too late. We've registered it on Company's House. We can't go
'cause
back.
now when you write out the whole company, it's advertising.
We've paid for the website and everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, yeah, I don't want to say the name of them in case I don't even know if they're still around actually. But
How could they be? Since you stopped working for them, they'd go
well,
under.
yeah, of course.
That's it. Of course. So yeah, Al Simmons, bringing it
Yep.
back.
Sorry.
He's Black Ops basically for the government.
Yep.
A fella called Jason Wynn, played by Michael Sheen. No, yes, Michael
yeah.
Sheen. Yeah,
Is it Michael Sheen?
yeah, Charlie Sheen's dad.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Sheen. Emilio Estevez's father. I don't know why I said Charlie Sheen's dad and Emilio Estevez's
Who's the Welsh guy?
father.
The Welsh actor. What's he called?
Oh, Martin Sheen. It's Michael Sheen's
Yeah,
the Welsh
Michael
guy.
Sheen's the Welsh guy. That's what I was thinking. It doesn't sound
Oh,
right.
boy, oh, from the valleys.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that
The
doesn't sound
noise.
right.
That was
I'm sure it's the
actually,
Welsh
that
guy.
wasn't a bad Welsh accent, was it?
I don't know. I'm not going to comment. Because I'm not Welsh, so I don't think I should.
Do you know what? Fuck you. Whoa, where did that come from? Oh my god.
Easy.
Whoa. Okay, so Jason Wynn, played by Martin Sheen,
Yes.
not Michael Sheen, who is the head of the covert government agency for which Simmons works, assigns him to infiltrate a biochemical weapons plant in North Korea. Okay, but before this happens, we see Al on an operation where he infiltrates I can't quite remember where it is, but it's on an airport, but what country he's in I can't quite remember, but he infiltrates a flight control tower,
Yeah.
and beats everyone up there. Well, no, he gets in the door, he kicks a guy and knocks him out, and then proceeds to just then shoot everyone else.
Yeah.
It's like, just lead with the gun, my dude, you know?
Yeah.
It's not that hard, you know? Well, I mean, if you're a trained killer. But he...
It would be quite hard for us.
yeah, it would be hard for me. Especially in these jeans, I can't kick my leg up high enough to knock anyone out.
Can you in different trousers?
I've not tried. I just don't
It
know.
might not be the jeans that's stopping you.
It's in my jeans, at least. That's what might be stopping me. But yeah. So he infiltrates this control tower and he fires a rocket at a private jet with some Arab men getting on it. And he thinks he only takes out the targets, but he also takes out a lot of civilians. And he doesn't realise that at the time for some reason. But
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care. He's kind of disillusioned with his career and what he's doing. And we see a little bit of his home life with his wife, and I think his wife is either pregnant or they've got a baby or something. I can't quite remember, because later in the film a few years have passed and his daughter's grown up. But that's when... So we get this really little kind of idea of his home life and that he's not happy with his job, but not a lot. When I was saying like the different version that never got made properly had a lot more detail of his home life and his background and his disillusionment with his work. So we lost a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah.
So Jason Wynn gets him to go to North Korea, but unknown to Simmons, Wynn has also ordered his top assassin, who isn't Al for some reason, but gets his top assassin, a lady called Jessica Priest, to murder him while he's on the mission. Okay? Now, the reason he wants Al dead is because Jason has a meeting with a shadowy figure that we can't see, but clearly doesn't look human.
Yeah.
Although it's all kind of shadowy, you can't see it very well. And this shadowy figure basically says, we want Al dead so he can lead Hell's minions in a war.
Yeah.
Like, fine, whatever. So, yeah. So, Jason Wynn has made some sort of
deal. You would have to just kind of go, whatever a lot in this movie if you watch it. Yeah, whatever. It's movie land, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Now, so they... Like, Jason Wynn is the head of this government agency, and he goes on the mission. He turns up. I mean, you just think, just send the assassin and get them to do the job. But for some reason, he's got to be there as well. So Simmons gets shot in the legs.
Yeah.
And Wynn's like, yeah, sorry, this is just the way it is. Tough.
Give a shit, no.
Yeah, exactly. And they set him alight. So Simmons dies. He's set on fire by Jason Wynn, and the flames caused the whole power plant to explode.
Yeah.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like I'm going to be doing that a lot in this film. Yeah, it's all very dramatic. So Simmons arrives in hell, and I thought this was the devil, but it's not the devil.
Oh.
It is the worst CGI demonic monster I have ever seen in my life.
What is it if it's not the devil?
It is one of the rulers of hell called Mother Bolgia. Yes.
Does the devil not rule hell then? I don't know.
Well, it's like you got the devil ruling hell, but then you got like underling rulers kind of thing. I think that's the idea. So they've got their own kind of
Who knows?
hierarchy. I can imagine hell for me would be a very bureaucratic workplace where everything had to be memoed and you had to take a ticket to get everything done. That would be my hell.
Hell for me would be a fish market.
Oh god, yeah.
Or a fishing boat.
Well, it's
Then you're on a boat as well,
oh,
feeling sick, and then you've got the fish all on the board. No.
just like the occasional fish flying up and slapping you in the face.
Have you seen that video online of the kids on the little rowboat and a fish just jumps out of the water, slaps the little girl? The little girl's already crying. Slaps the. I'll just send it to you if I can find
Yes,
it.
please do.
And
That sounds
slaps
amazing.
the girl on the face and then just jumps back in the water. And the girl's already like she's whinging and crying about something. They're only little kids, like three of them. And then just out of nowhere, it's almost like the fish just went, "Oh, shut up!" Just slaps her on the face and jumps back in the water.
Don't make any unnecessary journeys. Bong.
Comes out of nowhere, this fish. They've slowed it down as well in this video that I saw.
Oh, amazing.
Just to get the full effect. But it's, when your kids are really whingy and you're like, oh, and you just
all
want a
the
fish to come out of the sea, don't you? Just slap them
Yeah.
on the face and shut them up.
They seem to get whingier the older they get. My oldest is
don't say
21 and my youngest is 16 now. Well, no, he'll be 16 in a couple of days. But it's like
don't
they
say
just
that.
get whingier and whingier. Sorry.
That was... I could deal with a full-on cry much more than I could deal with whingy children.
Mm-hmm.
The whinging used to drive me insane.
Yeah.
I can't deal with...
The one thing is, though,
Just
they stop
cry or
whinging at
shut
you. They stop whinging at you. They start whinging at each other.
Oh,
and they
my
get
two
you
argue
involved.
constantly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, nothing can prepare you. Well, I say that. I grew up with siblings. I should have known. Yeah. We argued constantly. Why did I think that, oh yeah, give them a sibling. It's so nice for them to grow up together.
Yeah.
And it was for a couple of years.
Yeah.
They absolutely adored each other. And then they got to an age where they just thought, nope, I hate your guts. And
This
I'm
other
going to
human
annoy
being
you.
is the worst human being in the world.
Yeah. And literally, I'm going to annoy you just because I'm bored.
Mm-hmm.
All of the time. And it's the worst. And you're just like, just leave each other alone. Don't even look at each other.
So my cousins, Andrina and Elizabeth, right, were always at each other's throats. I remember once there was an iron that was launched across the room at one of them, like from the other. Can't remember who did it, but yeah, like it was like.
But it's just a
one of
sibling
them's gonna
thing,
kill
isn't
each
it?
other.
Because
Oh,
we
yeah.
grew up with all our cousins. I've got a big family.
Yeah.
But we were really close with our cousins to the point where they did feel a bit like siblings growing up.
But you never
But
had an
we
issue with
never
siblings. Yeah.
We never argued with our cousins. It was all the cousins got on, but the brothers and sisters, they hated each other.
Yeah.
But we'd get on with our cousins fine. Even
suppose
when
it's
they were
like-
like the same age and
You can always walk away from your cousins.
yeah, I guess you don't have to live with them, do you?
Yeah. You know.
But, but my kids have got their own bedrooms, so I'm constantly like, you can go to if you want time out from each other, you've both got your own bedrooms.
Oh, but I bet.
But they
Why
both
should I
want to
have
sit
to go in
down
my
here.
bedroom?
Yeah,
They should.
they both want to sit
Yeah.
down here. But I want to sit in the living room. I want to sit in the kitchen. Yeah, fine, but you're going to have to sit with them then because I
wanna
can't
watch
ban them
this.
from this
I
room.
don't want you to watch this. I want to watch this. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't get any better.
So anybody
Sorry.
out there, if you are thinking about having children, just have a child.
Get it done really early and get it out of the way.
Have one child
Yeah.
and spoil that child. They won't have to fight with any siblings.
Yeah.
And it's just so much easier for
Could
you.
you imagine, right? Our age now,
Yeah.
having another child, and then thinking
Having a child now?
having a
No,
child
I
now,
actually have nightmares about this.
and then thinking in 10 years' time, having to deal with
what we deal
whingy
with.
kids.
Yeah, no.
No.
That's the thing. When people have kids later on in life, because people are more and more now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, it's not just, people always think, oh yeah, but newborn baby in your 40s or whatever. It's not just the newborn baby. It's the toddler years, which, they're tough. And then it's the older years when you think, okay, physically they get easier,
Yeah.
but mentally they don't.
I don't know how Robert De Niro does it. He's in his 80s and he's got like a young kid.
Well, because
he's got money and people that can look after it.
and
yeah.
also, younger wife, I would imagine, who's
I like
gonna
to think
be
he's
the bulk of
hands
it.
on though. I like to think Robert De Niro's hands
I
on,
actually
changing
think that's
nappies.
really cruel though, because how old is he? 80?
I know. I like to think he's like his character in Meet the Fockers or Meet the Parents or whatever it is when they've got the kid. It's Meet the Parents, isn't it? Where
I think so, yeah.
or is it Meet? I can't remember. Meet the Parents 2 or whatever it is, where he's got the fake breast on so he can breastfeed the child. I hope he's like that.
I just think, I mean, if you're going up to your 80s and still having children, you're not in a position to do anything with that child.
No.
You're definitely going to die while they're quite young.
Yeah.
And you're not in a position to, in 10 years' time when they're, or even 5 years' time when they're running around with a football or something, running around the park with them, are you? Like,
no, you're not. You're just.
It's really cruel to the child.
I think so. I agree.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
Anyway.
So Wynn has made this deal with the devil to kill Simmons so that Simmons can lead Hell's army. All right.
Okay.
Why it has to be Simmons and not just anyone else, but they're very set on it being him. So this ruler of Hell, Malebolgia, offers our main guy Simmons really kind of like a Faustian deal. If Simmons becomes his servant and leader of his army in Armageddon, he'll be able to return to Earth to see his fiancée. At the time, it's his fiancée, not his wife. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Simmons accepts that offer and returns to Earth. Okay, but now on his return, he realizes that actually 5 years have passed since his death. Wanda's now married to his best friend Terry, who is living as the father to Al's daughter, Cyan. Cyan.
Yeah,
the
like the
bluey
colour.
greeny colour, isn't it? Is it
Yeah,
bluey
it's
greeny?
blue,
Cyan.
It's a weird kid's name.
Yeah, I know. I don't. Yeah, well, each to their own.
Call your kids what you want, but it is a bit of a weird name, isn't it?
I mean, well, you've
never
literally
heard of
got
another.
Blue Ivy, haven't you?
Yeah, true.
So Cyan was ahead of its time.
Yeah, I guess so.
Actually, Beyonce is kind of nicked that.
Maybe she's a Spawn fan.
Maybe she is.
Who knows?
You never know. Maybe Jay-Z's the Spawn fan. You don't know.
We'll never know.
You will never know.
Not likely to meet them, are we?
Well, not with
Likely
that
to
attitude.
likely to listen to this.
Could you imagine if Jay-Z and Beyonce are listening to this right now and thinking, little do they know.
I know, yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, sign up to Patreon, guys. You can fucking afford it.
We need to get J-Lo signed up as well.
Let me know.
I'm
I'm just going to Google, can you hide specific episodes on your Patreon from a specific member? No,
she won't be signing up.
No, she won't be signing up.
Not when she's heard us slag her off.
No, she won't sign up until the divorce is finalised by Ben Affleck because she won't want to share the account with him.
I can't believe that he's. Well, I can believe it.
You
I can
can.
believe they're breaking up, and he's
can.
said he's temporarily insane, isn't he? Is that what he said?
Yes, it was. Yeah. There was a great joke at the Golden Globes by the host, Nikki Glaser, an American comedian. She was talking about different films and shows that are up for nominations, and she was like, I can't remember what the first one was, but it was like Hell or whatever, something like that. No, it wasn't Hell. It was like Damn Bitch. No, not Damn Bitch. It was Damn Queer, and then Bye Bitch or something like that. And that's like the name of shows or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, those aren't up for nomination. Those are just 3 words that Ben Affleck says after sex." I mean, I absolutely butchered it, but it was absolutely fantastic. It was, I really, that's probably the best joke of the night that I saw, or at least one of them. So anyway, Simmons gets back to Earth. He finds out his pal Terry's married Wanda. He's bringing up Cyan as his own. And Simmons encounters a clown-like demon named Violator, who's sent by Malebolgia. This is all getting too confusing already. Who the Violator is going to be Simmons' guide down the path to evil. Why they can't just be like, hey, you've said you're going to lead the army of hell, so just bloody do it.
Yeah. They
picked the wrong person, really. Because they picked a person who, although he's a killer and all that, he was disillusioned with killing. So this is the Malebolgia's fault and Violator's fault for picking the wrong person, really.
Yeah.
They're going to guide him down the path to evil, but Simmons also meets a mysterious old fella called Cogliostro, who is actually a fellow Hellspawn, but he successfully freed his soul and now fights for heaven. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Ugh. But anyway, so this is all basic. I don't know what came first, Spawn or Ghost Rider. To be honest with you,
Ghost
I don't know.
Rider.
I don't know which one in terms of like
Ghost
comic
Rider's
books
the
came
worst
first.
as well.
Yeah, because it's all really much a rehash of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a deal with you to fight for hell. Oh, but actually, you're going to be a good guy, and then you're going to fight against me again. Oh, yeah. Anyway. So Simmons learns that Wynn, who is now a weapons dealer, so he's no longer head of a government agency, he's now a weapons dealer, has developed a biological weapon called Heat 16. So Spawn is actually tasked by the Violator to kill Wynn.
Okay.
Alright? So, and that, by killing Wynn, that's his mission, that will actually complete his path to hell and evil. Okay? It's such a convoluted plan. I feel like the reason the bad guys don't win in this film is because they just make things far too complicated. Anyway, so Spawn goes to a reception.
Yeah, but don't they always though? Villains always do that because otherwise it's just a bit boring, isn't it? If they just went and found their enemy and just shot them, that's not a movie, is it? But they do things, and they always do things where they can get away so easily. Yeah. And it's like, but you wouldn't do that if...
They start monologuing.
Yeah. And it's the same with horror movies. Like, how many horror movies have you watched where they've been, like, trapped in a house with a murderer or something, and then they get away, and then, like, you think, okay, if you... Say they get hold of the gun or something.
Yeah.
But... like they knock the person out rather than just shooting them in the foot or something, and then they wake up and they chase them. And it's like, if you're in that position where you've got the gun, shoot their leg so they can't run after you.
Yeah,
you
shoot the
kill
leg.
Them, but
shoot the leg.
You could shoot them so they don't run after you, but they always do. They get away or they go back.
Oh, I know.
So I watched Speak No Evil.
Is that the James McAvoy one?
Yes. And it's a good movie, but there was a couple of times when I was getting really frustrated because I was like, you wouldn't do that though.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, they had opportunities to get away and then things happen and you're like, you wouldn't do that though.
What was it? The daughter left something behind, so they went back for it.
Have you seen it?
I've not seen it, but I think you told me about
so the
that
daughter
before.
goes, so they leave the daughter's toy there and they go back. They'd already escaped. And they go back for the toy, and I was just like, you would not do that.
Sorry, that's like Andy Dufresne crawling back through the tunnel because he forgot his rock hammer to get out of prison.
It's just like, no, you wouldn't. Because the situation they found themselves in, they were like, this is weird. A couple of weird things had happened. They were like, we want to get out of here.
Yeah.
So they get out of there early in the morning before this couple are awake, and they manage to escape, and then they go back. And it's like, and then there's another time when they could get out, and they don't get out. And I'm just like, so I was getting a bit frustrated, but it was quite good.
Yeah.
It's just there was a couple of little bits where I thought that wouldn't happen though. You wouldn't. Yeah. But then I know why the movie's done that, because it's like you think they're getting away. Oh no, they're going back. Like,
it does annoy me.
But make it a bit more realistic why they had to go back.
It's just lazy writing. It's really lazy writing.
If it was something like a really important medication that they needed every day that they couldn't go without and they had to go back and get that, you can understand that more. But this was like a stuffed toy. Yeah. And it was one that she had forever, but she was 12, this kid. So I was like, my son's 11. He wouldn't be fussed about a stuffed toy like that now.
Yeah, agreed.
At his age. So it was like, make it more believable. So if it was like, say, like she was diabetic and she needed her medication or something like that, because you do need that every day. You can't even go with that. You can't go without that for a few hours.
That's really serious. You have to get it. Yeah.
You'd have to go back for that. Yeah. But a stuffed toy, that was just a bit ridiculous to me.
It just screams to me, we've got to think of something.
They made a thing of it being like she's got anxiety and stuff, and this was like she'd had this thing all her life, and it was like related to her anxiety. She needed to have it, but it was like she was 12, and I just think you would say to a 12-year-old, "We're gonna die if we go back there."
I wouldn't even
like let's just get away. It's our lives or the bunny rabbit.
There comes a time as like a parent where you have to just be like, "Look, I understand you get anxious about things, but I don't want us to die.
But I'd rather you be alive and anxious than dead.
Yeah.
In a horrible way. Yeah. So let's just go.
It's
let's not turn back to that crazy couple.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get you a replacement. You'll love it just the same eventually. Yeah. No, I know. I that sort of thing really frustrates me when it comes to
when it comes to movies. It
Yeah.
really does annoy me. Just laziness. Like
Well,
you
yeah,
said, like
it
your
could have
idea was
been-
instantly better.
Well, yeah, because it would
Instantly.
be because then you couldn't argue with that because as a parent you'd be like, if my child needs medication every day and if
Yeah.
they're gonna potentially die if they don't have it,
Yeah.
then you wouldn't be able to. Because you could say, well, they could just drive a few hours and get to an
And
nearest
that's
hospital or whatever.
easier.
But
I think that's easier than building in a whole storyline about
yeah,
anxiety. Oh,
yeah,
she's got diabetes, and you can even show that by being like,
Showing her injections or
there's your
whatever, yeah.
injection.
Yeah.
Right, thanks, mum. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget your medication. No, I won't.
yeah.
And then
Because
you
if
have
you
to
left
go
something
back
like
and get
that
it to
and
go
you
the
had
trip or
like
something.
hours to drive,
Yeah.
because it was like really remote where they were. So if you had like a few hours drive, obviously if she crashes at any point and she needs insulin,
Yeah, exactly.
then you're going to need to have that to hand. You
Yep.
can't really go a few hours as a diabetic without your medication. But so it was just, it was a silly reason to go back. That's
Why
what
aren't we
annoyed me.
writing movies, Emma?
I know.
Why aren't we writing
Because we've
movies?
got
Why aren't
jobs
you writing
and
movies?
kids and I haven't got
That was a
time.
much better idea than anything
I
I could
haven't
come up
got
with.
time.
Crank 3. You still got to write
Don't,
it.
don't stress
Just
me
saying
out.
it.
Don't stress me out.
Oh God Almighty! Do you want
I've
a
got
teddy
enough
bear?
on my plate.
Where's a teddy bear? anyway, let's get talking about Spawn, shall we? Yes. What was that? Anyway, so there's some sort of reception going on for the company that Wynn now owns as a like an international arms dealer. Blah blah blah. Because you just throw receptions for these kinds of things, don't you? Spawn attacks Wynn. All right, but he doesn't get to kill him. He does get to kill the assassin Jessica Priest, though. He kills her.
Yeah.
But he escapes. But Spawn has this kind of armor and like a body armor that kind of just appears around him, and he's got this big red kind of prehensile cape that can do all sorts of things and blah blah blah. Again, lots of blah blah blahs in this. I don't know a lot about the Spawn character myself other than what I've learned in this film, and I don't think that's enough to actually go on to know much about the Spawn character, to be perfectly honest. But he escapes with the help of that cape. It kind of gives him like camouflage as well against the wall at some point.
Yeah.
There's a really weird moment where he uses the cape to camouflage himself against the wall, and the cape takes the form of the wall perfectly.
Yeah.
But while all the search beacons are kind of looking around this wall, he just comes out of the camouflage anyway and gets spotted.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, make it make sense. Please, make it make sense. So that's his necroplasm armor. That's what they call
remember.
it. I'm only remembering because I'm reading a synopsis off of the horror film wiki. Right? So anyway, following the attack by Simmons, Violator convinces Wynn to have a device attached to his heart that will release the Heat 16 biological weapon worldwide.
This just sounds a bit like Crank, something attached to his heart.
Yeah. So it will release that biological weapon if his vital signs flatline, which will be a deterrent against assassination attempts. So my one sort of thing about that is, who are you telling? You're getting this thing attached to your heart so that if anyone kills you, it releases a biological weapon.
Yeah.
What do? Do you release a press release telling everyone that? Hi everyone, here's a little memo, little newsletter. I now have this, so don't kill me.
I don't know. Look, it's movie land. They can do whatever they want. It doesn't have to make sense, and it doesn't have to be realistic. It's movie land.
But it kind of should.
Well,
it's really frustrating.
Come on, how many movies have we watched where
I know,
ridiculous things
I
have
know.
happened, and we've
House
just
Shark.
accepted it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. However, Malabolgia wants Simmons to kill Wynn and initiate the apocalypse through this device. So Spawn confronts Violator, who turns into his demonic form and beats the crap out of Simmons, because Simmons as Spawn hasn't really gotten control of his proper powers yet, so he's not as powerful as he could be. Surprise, surprise, this sort of thing happens in movies all the time. You get powers, but you're not quite good enough. You get beaten, you come back stronger, and you win the day. That's effectively it. So Yeah, he turns into his demonic form and beats Spawn down. However, he's rescued by Cagliostro and teaches him how to use his necroplasm armor properly. But it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you're really bad at using it, and then I tell you you should get better at using it. He does one bit of practice and instantly he's amazing at it. And again, that thing really annoys me in superhero movies as well. Just like, no, you don't get that good with new superpowers that easily. You need a bit of time. Okay,
Yeah.
you need to learn it. But, you know, this is what happens. So Simmons then learns that Violator and Wynn, so the clown and Jason Wynn, are going to go and kill Terry, Cyan, and Wanda, his family, and his adoptive father, husband, whatever.
What?
Yeah, I know. You know what I mean? Terry is married to Wanda.
Okay.
Yeah, his Al's ex-wife, well, ex-fiance, and you know. So at the same time, though, what we don't realise is that Terry, who works for Wynn as well, has actually been uncovering some of the truth about this Heat 16.
Yeah.
So Terry sends an email which incriminates Wynn to a fellow news reporter, but just as the email is sent, Cyan and Wynn enter the room. Wynn destroys Terry's computer and takes the whole family hostage. Spawn arrives and nearly kills Wynn, but he realizes, he sees this device around his heart and instead removes the device from his body and destroys the device. So he will no longer die, flatline, and set off the Heat 16.
Okay.
Yeah. So that all happened really for nothing. You know, it wasn't even like remotely like, oh god, this is going to set the bomb off. No, he just kind of pulls it out and disintegrates it.
Yeah.
And that was it. There was no
Pointless.
tense moment around it.
No.
You know? Yeah. Oh dear. So, yeah. So his plan is foiled. Violator sends Spawn and Cagliostro to hell, where they both battle the demon they both battle Violator and they subdue him. Spawn's then confronted by Malebolgia, who tells Spawn that he will never lead Hell's army. So again, this is all for nothing. Spawn escapes with Cagliostro just before they are overwhelmed by the army of Hell. Okay. Then Violator, having recovered from the beatdown he just got, follows them, and now we have a big final battle, ending with Spawn decapitating the demon with his chains, because Cagliostro says earlier that basically Spawn is unkillable unless he's decapitated. So
Right.
you've got to kill demons by decapitating them. Who'd have thought?
Okay.
You know, decapitation.
Learn something new every day.
It's pretty final, isn't it? So
Yeah.
if the rapture happens and we're left behind on Earth and Hell's Spawn comes to Earth, just decapitate them.
Yeah. Easy.
That's it. No problem. Big pair of scissors.
Big pair of scissors.
There you go.
Very big pair of
You know, like one of those
scissors.
scissors they use to open up supermarkets. Just get those.
I think that cuts through a neck.
You don't know what a devil's neck is like.
I imagine harder to cut through than a ribbon.
Well, you know. Listen.
But I like the comedy aspect of that.
I'm
The
willing-
massive pair of scissors. Just
I declare this Hellspawn dead. Shook. Thump.
Maybe tie a ribbon around it first, really tight, to cut off any circulation, and then go in with the scissors. Just a thought.
Oh dear. Yes.
I imagine
Yes.
it'd
There's a
take
thought
while
for you.
to cut through, wouldn't it? You'd be there for ages, like, oh, can't get through this neck.
At which point, all the Hellspawn are like, let's just watch what's happening here. This is interesting. What's going on here? Wow, this is the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, just people there with popcorn, just like watching it.
Isn't the rapture supposed to be happening? No, this is far more interesting. Let's watch this. Oh, there's a great movie by Nicolas Cage. I know that sounds...
By
Sorry,
Nicolas Cage?
let me rephrase that.
Is he in it?
There's a Nicolas Cage movie
Yeah.
where he's a pilot and the rapture happens while he's in the air flying.
Right.
I can't remember what it's called.
Have you talked about this before? This sounds familiar.
I think I might have told you about it.
I think
But
you have.
yeah, it's like, oh God, oh, the rapture's happened and he's flying a plane, and
Yeah, you've definitely told me about this.
I
before.
must have.
I need to look it up. Carry on. I'll look up the Nicolas Cage movie.
Okay, right. So so he kills Violator. Well, no, he defeats Violator by decapitating the demon with his own chains, but Violator's head taunts the group and threatens his return before then melting and returning to hell. So
Left Behind, is it called?
yes, that's it. Left Behind. Thank you. Oh, maybe that's something we need to do. Like that's maybe a season, isn't it? Like there's a whole series of like terrible Christian movies.
Oh, okay. So
that-
religious.
Yeah, so like religious and you know, I mean, obviously the Nicolas Cage movie isn't going to be particularly preachy or anything, but it is based on the rapture, so that could be quite fun.
Yeah.
And there's a whole load of like terrible American Christian movies, which are just like insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
And don't forget, we've got to think of a season that we can fit that movie into that I sent you over Christmas.
Oh my god, yes.
That looks amazing.
Yes.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, yep, that's straight up
Yes.
our street. That is.
Oh, that's right up my alley. Put that right in my basket. Oh my god,
We're not going to
yes.
spoil it, but we need to think of a season that it can fit into. But that is
Oh
going to be
yeah,
worth
yeah,
a
yeah.
watch.
I've already got a good idea because
Oh,
there was a movie that I need to try and find a trailer for.
Okay.
But I was playing Jackbox with the kids on the PlayStation over
oh
Christmas.
yeah, we played that. Yeah.
And there was like one of the things you had to watch like a clip from a movie,
Yeah.
and it was a
Oh, okay.
in the White House, and
Yes,
it's a black and
okay.
white movie, but
Right. Okay.
it looked terrible,
We've only
but
ever done
also
one
brilliant.
black and white movie, haven't we? That was the
Catwoman. Yeah, Catwoman over the
yeah.
Moon. Yeah, but this looked like a 60s kind of like late 50s, early 60s kind of thing. Definitely.
Okay.
There's lots of options. There's even a terrible Tom Cruise movie that would fit, but I'm never watching Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I know.
Although if we can watch Nicolas Cage, we can watch Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
know. I might have to force myself at some point. Anyway, this isn't getting us through Spawn, is it? Because Jesus Christ. Well, what's going on here? Yeah, so Violator's head taunts the group. He melts, returns to hell. So even though he's decapitated, he just ends up going back to hell, and he'll be back. Blah blah blah. So Wynn is arrested because all his sort of documents have been leaked about the deadly virus that he was planning to release upon the Earth. Spawn, who realizes there's no place for him in Wanda's world anymore, dedicates himself to justice rather than succumbing to his lust for vengeance. There we go. That's Spawn. That's what
Spawn
happens in the
movie.
film.
Okay, bye everyone.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think I've got anything good to say.
I might have some good bits. Oh, I found it quite quickly. Yeah, I've got some good props. Good costume. I've got some wild cards as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a painful film to watch, wasn't it?
It wasn't enjoyable.
No. So Spawn really destroyed our winning streak of good films.
Yeah, we've had a great run. It was
We
bound
did.
to happen.
Yeah, you know, we're not. I don't think we'll ever get through a full season of being like, oh, that was actually a good whole season.
Yeah.
But our next movie's going to make up for
But
it.
yeah, we've got one to end on that we know is
Oh
good.
yeah.
To the
yeah.
point where I'm like, is it a bad movie? But the concept is terrible.
We are going to rock your world with this movie.
Although I have watched it several times, but I haven't watched it for years, so
Okay.
I'm probably gonna. Yeah, I probably don't remember a lot of
It's
it. So
Probably been
hopefully-
about 3 or 4 years since I've watched it last.
yeah, hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised with
Oh, you will be.
how funny it is.
Yeah, you will be. It's the consummate movie.
Okay. Well, at least we're ending on a good one.
Yeah, we are definitely going in on a good one. But this is the thing. Like, Spawn was so disappointing
Yeah.
that we're being like, this next movie though, please
and
stick
what's
around.
worse is because we've ended up having this massive gap.
Yeah.
So we've kind of, yeah, I'm almost looking back thinking, could I have just got it? I couldn't have done that day that we were due to
No.
record. I couldn't have done because I was really ill.
No,
but
no. There's nothing worse
part
than
of me wanted to
recording
just
unwell.
get it done because now we've
Yeah.
and also now we've left it so long, I can't remember it very well because I didn't enjoy it. If I'd enjoyed it, I think I'd remember it more.
Yes.
But because I didn't enjoy it,
We did talk
blanked
through
it
some
from
of
my
it as
mind.
well.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like a
We know
full-on
if it's
conversation through it,
Mm.
but we still distracted ourselves, I think,
When
from
we
a lot
have
of
conversations in the middle of a movie, we know that it's
it. Oh,
lost
yeah.
our attention, don't
Yeah,
we?
definitely. I
mean, because when we watched
aye.
what's it called? What's the one called when they're shooting a porno?
Oh,
The one with the
Killer Penis one.
Killer Penis one, yeah.
I can't remember what it's
What
called.
was it called?
The
It wasn't
Dastardly
One-Eyed Monster, was it?
Dastardly Dick. One-Eyed Monster.
Was it One-Eyed
Yes,
Monster?
One-Eyed Monster. I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that one, when the guy was explaining how they got rid of it before,
Oh yes,
I was
the
absolutely-
Vietnam vet.
I was absolutely glued to the screen,
Yes. Yeah.
thinking, I really want to know, I really want to hear this story. So, when we know when we're enjoying it and we're glued to it, and I'm manically writing notes, and then there's other times when we have full-on conversations and we're like, no, this is not, we've not enjoyed this one.
I know. It's not coming up on the episodes for some reason. I'm having a look to
Oh.
see where it is, but it's not there. One-Eyed Monster?
It was called that, wasn't it?
When did we release that?
Oh, that was a while back.
Attack of the Killer Donuts, Adventures. Oh, was it that
Killer
far
Body
back?
Parts, yeah.
Yeah, it's Killer Body Parts. So it was way, way, way back.
Teeth, idle hand. Yeah, One-Eyed Monster. I've got it.
Yeah, it's One-Eyed Monster.
After Ghosts of Borley Retro. Flip side, it's on there. 6th of
Oh,
March.
that's why it's not coming up. I'm looking at all. I'm looking at all. I'm looking at our episodes, but I'm looking at downloads in the last 30 days. So no one's downloaded that episode in the last 30 days.
Why not?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, so we've literally got
it's
One-Eyed
called
Monster
One-Eyed
and then
Monster.
Scrotum straight after, and then Idle Hands.
Scrotum. Yeah, Scrotum. Oh my god, that was disappointing for what it was. You know, that could have been a lot more. That could have been a lot more. But it wasn't. Anyway, that's us not. We're not talking about Spawn, Emma. We are desperately avoiding this thing, aren't we?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We're just gonna have to. Right. So we had our categories of props, accent, death, music, and costume. I'm just gonna say now, I don't have a single bit of good music in this film.
Nope. I've got nothing
at
for
all.
music.
All the music was bad. So there wasn't a single bit that was like, oh yeah, this is a jam.
No.
Accent, again, accent has done the same thing to us. There's nothing that is kind of stuck out to be.
I have written a note for bad, but
okay.
it's debatable. But yeah, obviously that will be talked about on the flip side.
Oh, interesting. I've got nothing for that. So yeah, what about death?
I've only got a bad death.
There wasn't even really a good death.
No.
Because, they didn't even kill Win, the bad guy. They just arrested him.
Mm-hmm.
And even, our main character's death,
Well, that's what I've got down as my bad death.
You'd expect it to be like a good death. He's going down in like a blaze of glory or something,
Yeah, you'd expect it to be a bit more impressive. But
so we'll talk about his bad death, and agreed. I don't have it down as a bad death, but I can understand why you have. So really, I've just got props and costume for this film.
Yeah, me too. That's all I've got.
That's it. Now, I know you said before we recorded this episode, you went, I've put down this. I don't know why.
Yeah, I didn't put any notes. I just literally put the object down for a good prop, and then was like, why was it good? And then David reminded me.
Yeah, so go on. Do you want to start with that one?
So the good prop was his belt. So yeah, you've just reminded me, because I was like, why was his belt so good? Did you say someone goes to kick him? And
yes. So the assassin lady,
you remember it better.
The assassin lady, Jessica Priest, is fighting Spawn at this reception.
Yeah.
And protecting Wynn, and then also trying to kill Simmons, of course.
Yeah.
/ Spawn. And they're having a bit of a fist fight, and she goes to kick him in the nuts.
and his belt buckle, which is kind of like a skull, extends outwards
Yeah.
and bites her on the shin
Yeah.
and stops her from kicking him in the nuts at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, what a very specific defensive thing your belt buckle is,
Yeah.
to literally stop people just kicking you between the legs.
Yeah.
And where can I get one?
And is it illegal?
I feel like I'd probably be telling people
be
more
great
what I
for
think
women.
about them properly if I had one of
I
those.
feel like that'd be a really good defence thing for women. You know, if they're walking around
Oh,
alone
yeah,
at night
yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
they get attacked by a guy.
Yeah, because we
belt
can't
buckle
all have
comes
vagina dentata.
No,
We can't all have that.
And also, you've kind of already got to the point where you're being attacked if you're using that.
Exactly.
So you can't rely on that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, that would teach them a lesson, but it's like you've already kind of been attacked by that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you had the belt buckle that could just...
You just stop it straight away.
Yeah.
Maybe even bite through that thing.
Yeah.
Shook. See
So
you later.
it would have the same effect as the vagina dentana, whatever it's called. But it would be without, you know, they wouldn't need to touch you at all. You could just, the belt buckle could do all the work.
Yeah, that's true. It could be. So yeah, that's it. I actually really liked it as like a prop as well. I thought it was a great thing that happened because, yeah, otherwise he was just taking a full-on kick to the groinal area, which nobody wants. It does make you feel kind of sick. Yeah, for a while. It's not nice. Not gonna lie. So yeah, I had that down as well.
Yeah.
No, I did have another good prop, but
Okay.
like it wasn't so much. Well, the prop a little bit, but it was like the action around the prop that I liked as well.
Yeah.
So Wanda's husband Terry, he's downloading all these sensitive files onto a mini disc, right? And it's this little sort of mini disc, and there's a little bit of, I don't know, nostalgia kick in when that happened, but. And I don't know if it's... I don't think this is really the prop that is made me think, oh, wow. It was his reaction to getting the data onto the mini disc, right?
Oh, okay.
He does this... He's very excited about it, and he does this kind of fist bump. Yes!
Yeah.
Like that. It's like, you've only downloaded some files, my dude. What's... like, you've saved them to a mini disc. Like... You're very excited about this. Yes. It really made me chuckle, and it made me think, yeah. I loved. Can you remember the days of downloading things to physical media?
I mean, we are the generation that went from. Well, we had loads of different things because we had like.
Yep.
So at work we had like floppy disks.
Yep. Floppy disk.
And then floppy disk went to zip drives, which were like, whoa, zip drives can hold so much
oh
more.
my God,
I mean,
they can hold so much.
pathetic amounts of data they could hold.
Yeah.
But looking back, you're like, that was nothing. How did we ever get any files on, like, the file sizes that I have now at work? I just think they'd never get on a zip now.
Yeah, I know. I got like an 8 megabit PDF. And
We used to have...
a couple of pages or something. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I think I've talked about this before, but in an old job that I worked in, we used to back up to tape.
Okay. Oh, to
Well, a couple of jobs that I worked in. And so we used to have to set the tape off at night before we went.
Yeah.
And it would run all night, and then you get back in the morning and you'd backed up the day's work before.
Yeah.
And it was just, we must have just had files and like boxes and boxes of this tape.
Yeah.
But then I don't even know how that system would work, because what, did you just write the date on it? And then if you needed a file, you have to go through the whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it used to work, but yeah, we used to back up to tape, and then it was, so I think, and another job that I had, it was all backed up overnight, and that might have been digitally, but it took all night again.
Yep.
It was like you set it off and it took all night. And it was just, when we used to work like that, I just think, and then you talk to people that are older than you, and it was even more like, I mean, I know when I was at college, one of my tutors, when he was at college, he used to do, so if he designed a poster, he would literally get his Letraset out. Young people won't even know what Letraset is.
I don't even know what Letraset is.
Letraset is, so it's letters on a sheet, and you literally rub it onto and the ink comes off on the paper. So you literally by hand would like put all the letters. So if you made a spelling error, your poster's fucked because you can't you've literally get the letters and you rub them onto the sheet. They've got to be straight. You've got to spell it correctly.
Oh my god.
There's pressure, and then everything else would be drawn by hand. It would just be like that's how he would create a poster. And then when I was at college, we had like Apple Macs, so we could go on there and like design stuff digitally.
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't have any of this. My whole portfolio when I was at college was hand done.
So do you, like when you
It's
mentioned
crazy,
Apple
isn't
Mac,
it?
that is mad.
And I'm not even that old.
I know.
I can't mention saying that.
I remember when you said Apple Macs, that reminded me of my work experience when I was doing my art GNVQ in school.
Yeah.
Right, we got sent to the local kind of like adult skills company.
Yeah.
And they would teach like design and all that sort of thing, and they would use Apple Macs.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we'll take you through some of the training that we do, because it's just, you're here for a week, you might as well do it. But for some reason, they didn't get me to do the training. They put me up in the admin. So I was doing an art GNVQ work experience in this place, doing like training design and all that sort of thing. And I was in the office doing Word and admin stuff.
Oh.
I was like,
That's not the same.
yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll figure something out. Don't worry. No, you just needed a dog's body for the week. So, like, my week of in-house art and design
was not
work experience was just admin.
It really bugs me at work so I'm a graphic designer. It really bugs me at work when people say, "Can you design it in Word so we can edit it?" No. I can't stand Word, and Word is not design software. It's not my expertise.
No.
And trying to lay something out in Word, I don't know who created this software, but I hate it. So it really bugs me, and I'm like, no, let's not do it so that you can edit it. Let's do it so that it's designed professionally. And if you want any changes to it, I'll do it.
So, like, there is a way in Word. I know this is there's like a whole meme about it, right? That you've got a perfectly laid out page. You've got your image in the right place. And you go, oh, you know what? I'm just going to move that image a slight bit, and then
and then everything goes out. Yeah,
terrible. I know there are ways of moving images properly and keeping it all wrapped around the
image. That's
do
because you can put it
wrapping
behind the text or in front of the text or wrap around and all that. But
and that keeps it in place. And I remember I'd forgotten how to do all that.
Yeah,
and I was trying to update some training material a couple of years ago, and oh my god. I was taking screenshots of things and I was putting them into this document and replacing, and I was like, it's just the same size for image. I'm doing the same size. I'm getting to the same sort of like dimensions, etc. And I'm just like, I'll just replace the image. That'll be fine. No, I forgot all about wrapping text and all that sort of thing. And I can't tell you how many times I scrapped it and restarted until I remembered. Oh wait, this is how you do it.
Yeah, I hate it.
Hated it.
That and PowerPoint.
Oh, we use PowerPoint a lot. I learned how to create online learning. This e-learning stuff. I don't know. They've got embedded videos, and you can ask questions, click an answer, and it takes you to a different page. I was learning how to build all that, and it's effectively just PowerPoint. It's just a PowerPoint, but you're just using transitions and linking to relevant slides effectively. It's like I know PowerPoint. Like, I don't need to do an 8-week 2 hours once a week training course to learn this. Painful. But using that to design training materials, just we learned. And you know what the worst thing is? I finished the 8 weeks worth of, like, I know it was on like 2 hours once per week, but it was over an 8-week period. By the time we finished the training, the company had already said, "Oh yeah, we're not using this anymore. We're going to use something different."
Oh, that's pointless then.
Yeah, completely pointless. Don't get me wrong. The thing we've taken over is amazing, but
there's another piece of software, and I can't remember for the life of me what it's called, but it's similar to PowerPoint, but it's much more. You can just do a lot more impressive stuff with it. So you can kind of like zoom in and zoom out of things and kind of go. It's almost like you sort of go on a journey around the page. I don't know if I'm explaining that very well, but it was really good, and we used that a few times at work. And
I know the one you mean, but I can't think of the name. Yeah,
because that's much better than PowerPoint.
It's like
it's almost like you kind of it's almost like it's not 3-dimensional, but it's like
Yeah, but it's
You're
a
moving
it's a
around.
it's a big
like a big sheet that you
sheet.
kind of move around rather than pages on a
Yeah.
PowerPoint.
And you can even
You
have
can kind of
people
zoom in and out,
talking.
can't
You
you?
can have meetings in it as well, and you can have people talking.
Oh, can
and
you?
Yeah. If you are, you can move your speech bubble closer to other people, and you can start to hear them and them
okay.
hear you. And if you move your speech bubble away, so you can have
Right.
private discussions in
Yeah.
the same. It's really
Yeah.
cool, but I know exactly.
Yeah, I
Unless
can't remember.
there's
We did a
multiple
couple
different
of-
versions of the same kind of thing.
Yeah, this one we didn't use anything like that. It was just like graphics.
Yeah.
But we did some quite impressive stuff with it. But
No,
we
it was
haven't used it since.
it was really cool because it was like you could do individual learning, so you could go and learn something and follow that yourself, but you could also do like group learning in this, which was really cool because you could go off into your own little breakout rooms, but still on the same. You just move, like as I say, you just move your mic further away from people, without having to put you all into individual breakout rooms. So. Yeah, it was really clever, really clever.
My worst enemy, well, not, it's kind of a friend and an enemy. It's a frenemy, if you like.
For our enemy.
Is Canva, because so some of the comms guys that I work with, they will use it for like social media graphics and stuff. Because sometimes when we're really busy, they just think, do you know what? I can create something quite nice looking. I just click, because they always need social media stuff all the time, obviously, because they're always updating our social media.
Sure.
So it's quite, and they make it look quite nice. So that's helpful to us, but then it's other people around the organisation that aren't in the comms team, that aren't marketing, comms or design, who go, oh, I've done a newsletter in Canva, and you're like, no, don't do that.
Don't do this.
And like created the whole thing, and then you're like, I'm going to have to recreate that. That's a bit annoying, although, I mean, because you'd have to recreate the whole thing, but it's like, just give me the content and I'll put it together. But everyone's a designer, that's the thing, and you're like, you're really not.
So, welcome to our podcast of I see bad design options and choices, and
I see bad careers.
I was desperately trying to think of a way of like somehow segueing back.
Yeah, getting back to the movie.
Because I normally try and find a way to do
yeah,
it. I was struggling.
now.
I was struggling that time. I was really struggling. It just wasn't.
I see lots of tangents.
So apparently, Spawn's cape is made out of canvas.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Anyway, why do I keep doing that voice?
I don't know.
Anyway, you know the fight that Simmons was having with that Jessica Priest when she goes to kick him between the legs. There was a really stupid moment that happens in that.
Yeah.
Oh no, I suppose I should talk about it on the flip side.
Yeah.
I'll talk about It's a wild card for the flip side. Sorry to do that to you, everyone.
Well, you have to sign up to the Patreon.
But if you
now.
come and listen over on the flip side, it's a new year, new you.
Yeah.
Start it with a subscription.
$3?
$3 a month. Oh, by the way, as well, we'd love to see you there. Anyway, right. So I actually only have a good costume and then some good lines from the film.
Yeah, well, I've only
That's
got a
it.
good costume.
Yeah.
I think everything else is bad.
I am actually going to say Spawn's costume is a good costume.
I liked the birthday party clown costume.
Oh yeah, when the Violator clown was dressed up as the clown
He was
rather
dressed
than
as a clown, proper like birthday party clown.
yeah.
I quite liked that costume.
Yeah. I think a lot of his like overall look was fantastic.
Yeah.
Because that was played by John Leguizamo, okay, who looks so different in this film. I know he was in layers and layers of prosthetics and makeup and that sort of thing, but you would not imagine that was the guy that played Tybalt in Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, the coolest performance of Tybalt in the whole entire world. The Prince of Cats, looking amazing, sleek, fantastic, is this rotund, foul-mouthed, disgusting clown that at one point holds up a pair of boxers with shit stains in them. And he goes from that to being this and does it fantastically.
Yeah.
I his costume's great, you're right.
Yeah.
It looks so good. It really does. And I knew you were going to pick that. I
Yeah.
knew you were. But yeah, I liked it a lot.
And that's all I've got.
So
But you've got some good lines.
I got Spawn's
got
costume. I just think
another
Spawn's
costume.
costume is good
Yeah.
because it's very like comic book accurate.
Yeah.
And there are points when the costume looks amazing, and there are points where it looks dreadful. And I
Yeah.
think when it looks good, it's the practical effect costume.
Yeah.
When it looks bad, it's heavily CGI sort of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, the movie didn't have that much special effects, but clearly they've used some of the footage that there was the non-special effects stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, they kind of ruined it. But comic book accurate, and it looks really good. I think it's a really striking costume anyway, in terms of comic book character costume. But the one gripe I have about it is the cape.
Yeah, the cape looked awful.
I understand the cape does its kind of thing. It's a big billowy thing, and it can do its own things and that sort of thing in the comic books. But they just didn't translate it very well to the movie.
Yeah, I've got that down in my bad costume.
Okay, I'll leave it to that then. Right. So
I've literally just got that.
yeah, is that it?
Red cape. This is the thing. This is when I know. When I look at my notes and I'm just frantically writing down notes. Oh, that was really good. That was really good. Then I know it was great. And then when I look at my notes and I've just got like one or two words for things, and I'm like, I can't even bother to write a note about what that was.
Yeah.
It's like, his red cape was terrible. The end.
It's something. They tried. So yeah, as I said, I've got a couple of good lines, wild cards. Okay. So like the Violator clown comes out with a lot of terrible lines, and I've got like funny, terrible lines, disgusting lines, but I can't tell you how impressed I was by John Leguizamo in this film. He's definitely the best actor in the film. He outshines everyone, 100%.
Yeah.
Martin Sheen does Martin Sheen. You know, he's that gruff bad guy. He plays a good bad guy, but John Leguizamo just steals the show on this one. But he's got a lot of lines that made the 12-year-old in me chuckle. So one of them was, right, he farts, at one point, and he says, it's just like stream of consciousness from him sometimes. He's like, every time someone farts, the devil gets their wings. And then he farts again, and then again, and he goes, ooh, twins. It's like,
Twins battle.
ooh, twins. It's so puerile, but it made me laugh. Am I a bad person for laughing at that?
No.
Ooh, a little bit. I don't know. But then another time, right? He's going through the trash, and he lifts up this pizza box lid, right? And there's a slice of pizza in there, and it is absolutely heaving with maggots. Okay.
Yes.
And he looks at it and he goes, yuck, I hate anchovies, and then takes a massive bite of the pizza and maggots and all. Again, I like that line. There's bits where, like, when they're not doing the plot and they're just doing stupid things, actually it was enjoyable.
More, yeah.
So as soon as we get to the plot though and the story, it's like, oh, when's the next bit? When's the next good bit gonna happen? Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of all I've got.
Yeah.
That's all I've got.
I think that's the trouble. We just haven't got a lot of good bits, so it's
Just it's a struggle. It's a struggle.
I think we should just rate it and then get on with the flip side where we
But
have actually.
what would we do
bits.
better? We need to answer that
yes.
question. How would we fix Spawn?
Rewrite the script.
Yeah, I think that's too general. That's too general. What I'd want to do is, and there was an interview with the actor that played Spawn, Michael Jai White, right, where he talks about how it was a completely different movie until the studio got involved.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back in time and just, I don't know, maybe slash the tires of the studio executives so they couldn't get into the studio that day.
Yeah.
And they didn't make that decision to fuck around with it. Because, like, Michael Jai White is, he's not a massive actor, but if you're into action movies and like kung fu movies, you'll know who he is. I say kung fu movies, I just mean like action fighting movies. You'll know who he is, and he's very well respected. I don't know if there's anything in the background that's like, this guy's a terrible man. I don't think there is. He's a very well respected person in his field, and you feel like if he sits down and he says, actually, there was a much better movie. He's seen the original movie before they got the hands on it, and he's like, it's miles better.
Yeah.
It's just so much better. Until it became this absolute abomination that we ended up seeing. That's what I'd want to do. That's how I'd make this film better. I'd go back or somehow find the tape of this original version and watch it.
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is I'll try and see if I can find the director's version to watch, the director's cut, which is supposed to be better than the one that we watched anyway, but it's still... It's only better, I think, because it's not PG-13. The gore and the violence is a lot more in it.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know if that would lift it necessarily, but it might make it a bit more enjoyable because you're seeing a bit more action, a bit more danger, a bit more...
I don't know.
Yeah. But, yeah. So that's what I'd do, is literally get rid of the film that we saw and replace it with what was originally planned.
Yeah, so basically what I said, rewrite the script. Remake the whole movie.
Oh shit, you're right, aren't you? Yeah. I just basically poo-pooed everything you said and confirmed that I'm the worst human being in the world.
Right, so give this movie a score.
1.
If you can.
1.
Okay.
1. That's it. I don't even want to go into why it's a 1.
Yeah, I think I'm giving it 0.5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what's I'm not going into why it's a 1. So what's giving you the other half less than me?
I think I've only got 2 things that I thought were good.
Yeah.
And I just think it deserves half a point for that maybe, but there's no... I just can't score it any higher. I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think, like, I'm giving it a point, I think, for John Leguizamo and his character design, and yeah, that's about it. So a very bare hand for the things that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Does not make a good film.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't have to talk about Spawn anymore, except for on the flip side, of course.
It's one of those movies that we really do stick to our strapline, and we've watched it so you don't have to.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't recommend anyone watch it.
Don't recommend it at all.
So yeah, we've done the hard work for you.
Yeah.
So you know to avoid it.
I'm glad I didn't actually end up getting around to watching it again.
Yeah.
And to jog my memory of what happened in the film.
Yeah, I think
I've seen this film twice now.
Yeah, that's enough for any
More
lifetime.
than enough for anyone.
Yeah.
More than enough for a lifetime.
For a lifetime. Never treat yourself and never watch it again.
Yeah, when you have to say treat yourself and never watch this film again, that's a really big teller, isn't it?
Take
about
care of yourself.
what
Don't
you
watch
need
it
to
again.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Emma, are we going to go and record the flip side now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Get Spawn done.
Yeah. Get it off our desks.
Yeah. In the out tray.
Yes.
Indeed. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.